that want us to be very concerned about the potential use of nuclear weapons. And of course, you can't be flip about it. They are very serious weapons. But I would be surprised at this point if that was the direction that Russia would try to go if the Ukrainians continue to fight in those areas being annexed shortly after they finish their facility referendum.
Yeah, Putin's saying that they're not bluffing. We've seen in the wake of Putin's announcement this week that 300,000 reservists, possibly more, are going to be called up to fight. Forces for Ukraine?
Why not, of course, but let's not overestimate what we have been hearing from selective reporting. The Russian nationalism is still alive, and when it comes to these sham elections, this primarily plays to the internal audience, and because Putin isn't stupid enough to believe that anybody in the West or outside of this country believes in that.
Steve, on this question of the mobilization, these guys are going to go through apparently 2 weeks of training. Many of them haven't fired a gun in years, if at all. What kind of impact, if any, do you think that they can have on the fight?
Well, on the one hand, it is going to take, obviously, time for them to come up and be trained properly in the units that they're going to be deployed to, so that's going to be a long process. I think that the Russians, the more people, the more men, the more soldiers that they throw at this fight, which is typically, historically, how the Russians have done things, just try to overwhelm it with more men on the battlefield. So that may help. But I think there was a Ukrainian who said earlier today on Twitter who I think captured it very well. He said, look, we have managed to stop and, for the most part, defeat large portions of the already professional standing army that Russia tried to field against us. When they send in these call-up guys, it's going to be even easier for us. I'm not sure that I'm quite that optimistic about it. I still think there's a long road ahead of the Ukrainians. But I'm also quite sure that this call-up is not going to be, the end-all and be-all that I think the Russians hope it's going to be.
And Jack, Steve did touch on it briefly, but the domestic implications. We're seeing these incredible scenes, all kinds of videos coming out on social media of, the future soldiers themselves,